In the vast expanse of the galaxy, the Council of Advanced Civilizations convened as usual. Its grand chambers filled with representatives of countless starfaring species. These were beings who had mastered interstellar travel, terraforming, and technologies that bent the very fabric of reality. Yet, even among these ancient and powerful races, Earth was a punchline, low and green dot, barely worthy of note. Ambassador J.L. Kor of the Zyrathi, a towering species with crystalline skin, leaned forward with a scoff. "Earth?" he asked, voice dripping with disdain. "That primitive rock still clings to its archaic ways. No Starfleet, no grand influence. It is hardly a concern." Across the room, other delegates nodded or laughed softly. The galactic map, a holographic display floating above the center table, highlighted Earth with a pale blue, glown insignificant speck. Amid sprawling empires and resource-rich systems, but few knew that Earth was watching, hidden in the shadows of their own solar system. Humanity had been quietly advancing. Their fleet was not vast, but their ships were unlike anything the galaxy had expected. Fast, resilient, and designed with a unique blend of human ingenuity and resourcefulness. The humans had learned from watching the galaxy's powers-absorbing knowledge, testing boundaries, and preparing. Commander Avery stood on the bridge of the Earth's flagship, the Resolute, his eyes fixed on the incoming transmission from the Galactic Council. "They mock us as if we are children," he said quietly. "They see only what they want to see." Tessa, his second-in-command, nodded. "They don't understand that Earth's strength lies not just in technology, but in adaptability and spirit. The Council's dismissiveness only fueled humanity's determination. On Earth, the Global Coalition government oversaw a secretive project, the development of new propulsion systems, advanced weaponry, and enhanced artificial intelligence. Earth scientists worked in unison, blending cultures and ideas from every corner of the world, embodying the very resilience and unity that alien observers underestimated. When the first human scout ships entered contested space near the Tsar Dominion, they faced immediate hostility. The Tsar warships, vast and menacing, expected to obliterate the small human vessels with ease. But the humans did not flee. Using unpredictable maneuvers and electronic warfare tactics never before seen, the humans disabled the Tsar's targeting systems and escaped unscathed. This small but bold encounter rippled across neighboring systems, planting seeds of doubt about Earth's true capabilities. Back in the council chambers, murmurs began to spread. Ambassador Lyra of the Velmer Confederacy, known for her wisdom and cautious diplomacy, raised a rare question. Could Earth's technology be more advanced than we believed? Could they be hiding capabilities that we have yet to measure? Others scoffed again, but some paused, sensing a shift. Yet Earth remained silent, choosing patience and observation over open confrontation in hidden listening posts across the galaxy. Human intelligence operatives gathered information on rival powers, learning their strengths and weaknesses. They forged quiet alliances with fringe species, those who had long suffered under the Council's heavy hand. Humanity was no longer a subject of mockery. It was becoming an enigma. Commander Avery knew the path ahead would be difficult. They expect diplomacy, rules, and predictable behavior. But humans are none of those things. Our strength is in surprising them when they least expect it. As the Council debated Earth's insignificance, the humans prepared for the moment when silence would finally sweep the galaxy. Because sometimes the mightiest roar begins as a whisper. The galaxy was a theater of endless conflicts and shifting alliances, yet no one expected Earth to play a major role. Most species continue to see the planet as a backwater world, its people clinging to primitive ways compared to the advanced civilizations around them. But on the fringes of the galaxy, where lawlessness and piracy thrived, humanity was about to reveal a spark that would ignite a growing fire. A convoy of merchant vessels carrying rare minerals from the border systems was ambushed by a notorious pirate clan known as the Draxians. Their swift and ruthless attacks were feared across multiple star systems, and many fleets had fallen to their unpredictable raids. This convoy, however, carried a secret. Earth's small but well-equipped escort fleet had been assigned to protect these shipments. Among them was the Resolute, with Commander Avery at the helm. Though outnumbered and outgunned, the humans were ready as the pirate ships closed in. Confidence radiated from the Draxian captain's flagship. They expected an easy victory. What they did not anticipate was humanity's unorthodox tactics. Instead of direct engagement, the humans deployed drones that swarmed like a hive of aggressive wasps, disrupting pirate sensors and electronic systems. The escorts maneuvered with unpredictable speed, weaving through asteroid fields and utilizing gravity wells to outpace and confuse their foes. The Draxians found themselves unable to coordinate attacks or predict human movements. When the humans struck, it was swift and precise, targeting pirate weapon systems and disabling engines rather than outright destruction. The pirates' arrogance became their downfall. Within hours, the convoy was safe, the Draxians retreating in disarray. Word of Earth's unexpected defense spread like wildfire across neighboring systems. Aliens who had once dismissed humanity as inconsequential began to ask questions. On the Resolute, Avery allowed himself a brief smile. They thought we were easy prey. They learned their mistake. Back in the Galactic Council, the mood shifted. News reports arrived detailing the engagement. Ambassador Lyra studied the data. Intrigued by the humans' blend of technology and tactics, how have they achieved this without us noticing? She wondered aloud. Their speed, coordination, and drone technology, none of it fits the profile of a simple frontier world. Some council members pushed to send envoys to Earth, eager to uncover the planet's secrets. Others urged caution, wary of provoking an unknown power. Meanwhile, humans quietly expanded their network of alliances. Fringe species and small colonies that had long suffered under pirate attacks and council neglect welcomed Earth's protection and partnership. Tessa, coordinating intelligence efforts, met with leaders of several border colonies. "We don't want to conquer or control," she assured them. "We want to build trust, defend our allies, and create stability." These words resonated with those who had felt abandoned by the greater galactic powers. On Earth, the success against the Draxians was celebrated, but it also galvanized efforts to accelerate research. Scientists and engineers worked to enhance drones, develop new defensive measures, and improve communication networks between ships. Humanity's rise was no accident. It was the product of relentless innovation, adaptability, and a refusal to be underestimated. Yet the galaxy remained unaware of the full extent of Earth's capabilities. The humans preferred to reveal their strength gradually, letting others underestimate them while quietly gaining influence. At the Council, discussions about Earth became more frequent and more urgent. Ambassador Jael Kor, once dismissive, found himself facing difficult questions from his peers. If Earth can defend against the Draxians, what else might they be capable of? For the first time, the galaxy saw the beginnings of a new player, not one boasting loudly, but one whose quiet power could not be ignored. Commander Avery and his team prepared for the next stage. "We've lit the spark," he said. "We must ensure it becomes a flame that reshapes this galaxy." The eyes of countless civilizations would soon be on Earth. Few would be ready for what came next. The calm confidence of Earth's defenders had unsettled more than just the pirate clans. Word of the humans' unexpected victory over the Draxians had rippled through star systems, reaching ears both curious and hostile. Among those watching closely was the Arcan Empire, a sprawling and militaristic civilization, known for its ruthless efficiency and disdain for what it called unsophisticated species. To them, Earth was a nuisancing upstart planet that dared to protect its own interests. Emperor Thalrak convened his war council aboard the flagship Dominion's Wrath. His generals, sleek and imposing, argued over the best way to deal with the humans. Send a fleet to Earth's borders, one commander suggested. Show them our strength before they grow too bold. Perhaps a demonstration of power, another added. A warning they cannot ignore. Thalrak, cold and calculating, weighed the options. He had little patience for diplomacy with what he considered lesser species. Let them know that the Empire does not tolerate challenges, he decreed. Prepare the fleet. But Earth was ready. Commander Avery received intercepted communications about the Arkan plans. His response was measured but firm. They expect us to bend under intimidation, he said. They have not learned what humanity truly is. Unlike many galactic powers, humanity had grown through adversity. Their history was marked by struggle, innovation, and relentless resolve. They did not rely solely on technology, but on quick thinking, teamwork, and the ability to adapt. When the Arkan fleet arrived near Earth's system, the humans did not wait for attack. Instead, they deployed a series of sophisticated defense platforms. Across key points in the system, these platforms combined advanced energy shields, automated weaponry, and electronic countermeasures designed to neutralize larger ships. The Arkan fleet launched an assault, confident in their overwhelming numbers and firepower. But the battle quickly turned. Human forces used the terrain of asteroid belts and planetary rings to their advantage, ambushing the invaders with hit-and-run tactics. Their drones swarmed with deadly precision, disrupting Archon targeting systems and communications. More surprising was humanity's use of psychological warfare. Through intercepted broadcasts, they sent messages emphasizing unity, resilience, and the futility of underestimating Earth. The Archon commanders, used to submission and swift victories, found themselves frustrated and confused. Despite the technological superiority of the Empire's ships, the humans' resolve and adaptability kept the fleet off balance. After days of costly skirmishes, the Arkan commanders called for a retreat. Back on Earth, the victory was a defining moment. Celebrations were tempered with solemnity. Avery addressed the Global Council. We have shown we will not be pushed aside. Our resolve is our greatest weapon. This battle reshaped galactic perceptions. Humanity was no longer a mere curiosity, was a force with the courage and ingenuity to stand against even the most powerful empires. At the Galactic Council, debates erupted. Some members urged caution, fearing that Earth's rising influence would destabilize fragile alliances. Others, including Ambassador Lyra, saw an opportunity. Humanity's spirit challenges us all to reconsider how we approach power and diplomacy, she said. Perhaps it is time for change. But there were darker voices as well. Ambassador Gelkor's disdain hardened. We cannot allow this. Human defiance to inspire rebellion, he warned. We must contain their ambitions before they grow. Unbeknownst to many, covert factions began plotting to undermine Earth's influence, fearing the loss of their long-held dominance. Still, humanity pressed forward, building alliances with smaller species and strengthening their defenses. They understood that victory came not just from strength, but from resilience and unity. Commander Avery, reflecting on the battle, knew the path ahead would be even more challenging. They mocked Earth's might, he said. Now they will learn that resolve, born of hardship, cannot be broken. As the galaxy watched, humanity's presence grew from a spark into a steady flame, one that would soon engulf old illusions and demand a new order. The galaxy was changing, but not in the way most had anticipated. Humanity's victories and growing influence unsettled the established order. But the old powers refused to confront Earth openly. Instead, They fought a war of shadows, a silent war fought in the darkness of uncharted space and the hidden corners of galactic politics. Commander Avery understood this well. While humanity had proven its might in open battle, the real challenge was the subtle and relentless attacks aimed at destabilizing their alliances and sowing distrust. Reports came in from remote colonies' communications, blackouts, sabotage of supply routes, mysterious disappearances. These were not the bold strikes of a formal enemy, but the quiet tactics of those desperate to maintain control. The humans called it the Silent War. Unlike previous confrontations, the Silent War was fought through espionage, misinformation, and covert operations. Alien factions wary of Earth's rising power employed spies and mercenaries to infiltrate human networks and disrupt their progress. Yet humanity was prepared. Years of experience in dealing with internal conflicts on Earth, political rivalries, cyber threats, and underground movements had hardened human intelligence agencies. Their counterintelligence units operated with precision, rooting out saboteurs and turning the tide of infiltration. Tessa, now leading the intelligence task force, coordinated efforts across multiple star systems. They expect chaos, but we give them order, she told her team. Our strength is in unity and vigilance. Meanwhile, humanity's coalition with fringe species grew stronger. These species, once oppressed and ignored, found hope in Earth's vision of mutual respect and cooperation. They shared vital intelligence and resources, creating a network that extended far beyond Earth's immediate reach. On a forgotten moon in the Andrax system, a covert human outpost intercepted communications, revealing a plot by the Tsar Dominion to assassinate key coalition leaders during an upcoming diplomatic summit. Avery and Tessa acted swiftly, sending warning messages and deploying rapid response teams. The assassination attempt was thwarted with minimal casualties, but the event was a stark reminder of the stakes at the Galactic Council. The debate over Earth's influence intensified. Some factions called for harsher sanctions and isolation, fearing that the Silent War could escalate into open conflict. Others argued for dialogue and inclusion, recognizing that humanity's rise represented a shift in galactic dynamics, one that could bring lasting peace if handled wisely. In the shadows, the guardians of the old order ran alliance of conservative factions resistant to change plotted to fracture the coalition. They believed that Earth's challenge threatened their power and way of life. Their strategy was subtle, spreading rumors, exploiting cultural differences, and manipulating trade disputes to create rifts among the coalition members. But humanity's commitment to transparency and trust helped counter these efforts. Regular forums, shared projects, and joint security patrols fostered bonds that proved resilient against division. Still, the Silent War was draining resources and attention. Avery knew that diplomacy and covert defense could only hold the line. For so long, the next move will decide the future, he said during a council briefing. We must be ready to confront those who refuse peace, openly, if necessary. The humans were not naive. They understood that the galaxy's path was uncertain, and that old powers would not relinquish control without a fight. Yet, they remained hopeful that their example of unity and resolve would inspire change. Hopeful that the galaxy could move beyond fear and suspicion, and hopeful that, one day soon, silence would no longer be the sound of conflict, but the calm after the storm. The galaxy's undercurrents shifted beneath the surface of diplomacy and conflict. Humanity's steadfast defense and transparent cooperation had begun to attract attention from unexpected quarters. Species, long marginalized and oppressed by the Grand Empires, saw on Earth a beacon of hope, an ally who valued fairness over domination. One such species was the Valari, a peaceful and thoughtful race whose homeworld lay on the edge of the contested Xylar Belt. For centuries, the Valari, had endured raids from pirate groups and encroachment by rival factions, their pleas for help ignored by the Galactic Council. Now, they sought partnership with humanity. Ambassador Ilara of the Valari arrived on Earth's capital station, her violet-hued skin and calm demeanor a stark contrast to the bustling human environment. She was greeted warmly by Tessa, who had become a key figure in fostering interstellar relationships. "We have watched your actions with great interest," Ilara said during their meeting. "Your willingness to defend the weak and challenge injustice resonates deeply with our people. We believe our alliance can bring balance to this fractured galaxy." Tessa nodded thoughtfully. "We share that hope. Together, we can create a future where no species is forced to suffer in silence." Over the next months, a formal coalition began to take shape. The alliance was not a military bloc alone, but a collective committed to mutual defense, resource sharing, and cultural exchange. Species who had once viewed humanity with skepticism now found themselves united by a shared vision. The coalition included diverse members: the industrious Utari, experts in starship engineering; the nomadic Harkin, skilled in reconnaissance and guerrilla tactics; and the enigmatic Aurelians, whose knowledge of ancient technologies fascinated human scientists. This diverse group faced many challenges. Cultural differences led to misunderstandings. Differing political structures complicated decision-making. But the coalition's strength lay in its commitment to dialogue and compromise. Meanwhile, the old galactic powers watched with growing unease. The guardians of the old order saw the coalition as a threat to their influence and sought ways to undermine it. Attempts were made to disrupt coalition supply lines and discredit its leaders through propaganda. Yet humanity's transparency and the coalition's open forums helped counter these efforts. Regular communications and joint projects fostered trust and cooperation. Commander Avery, overseeing strategic planning, recognized the importance of these alliances. "Our strength is multiplied by unity," he told his officers. "We stand not alone, but together with those who share our ideals." This united front began to shift the balance of power. Pirate raids decreased in coalition-protected systems, and resource-sharing initiatives improved living conditions for many species. One significant breakthrough came when scientists from Earth and the Aurelians collaborated to develop a new propulsion system that dramatically reduced travel times between coalition worlds. This technological leap symbolized the coalition's potential fusion of diverse knowledge for the common good. At the Galactic Council, debates grew more heated. Some empires proposed sanctions against Earth and its allies, fearing loss of control. Others advocated for negotiations, recognizing that humanity's coalition could not be ignored. Amid the turmoil, Ambassador Lyra remained a vocal supporter of inclusion. "We must embrace this change," she urged. "It is not a threat, but an evolution." In private, Avery and Tessa discussed the coalition's future. "We have made enemies," Avery admitted, "but also friends who believe in a better galaxy." Tessa smiled. "That's the true power of humanitarian weapons or technology, but the ability to inspire hope." As the coalition strengthened, the silent war continued on the edges. But now humanity and its allies faced it with renewed purpose. Together, they were more than a spark. They were a growing flame. Ready to illuminate the darkness, the galaxy had come to see Earth as a rising force, a coalition builder, a symbol of hope amid old rivalries and unrest. Yet, many still underestimated the full extent of humanity's capabilities. Earth's true power remained hidden till the day it was unveiled to the entire Galactic Council. Months of preparation had led to this moment, deep beneath the surface of the Earth's moon. A secret research facility hummed with energy. Scientists and engineers from multiple coalition species worked side by side, pushing the limits of technology and understanding. At the center of the project was a device unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. A stellar reshaper. This machine harnessed the power of quantum fields to influence and manipulate stellar phenomena safely and precisely. Its potential was staggering. It could stabilize unstable stars, create habitable zones, and even redirect dangerous solar flares. Commander Avery stood before the assembled scientists, diplomats, and military leaders as the countdown began. The moment was not merely a demonstration of power, it was a statement at the Galactic Council. A special session had been called. Delegates from every major civilization gathered, their skepticism mingled with curiosity. The device's unveiling was broadcast live across the galaxy. Ambassador Lyra spoke first, her voice steady and clear. Today, humanity reveals not only its strength, but its vision of cooperation, progress, and protection for all. The demonstration began. The stellar reshaper was activated, and a nearby star within a controlled test zone began to glow with a gentle, pulsing light. Slowly, its erratic solar activity stabilized, flares softened, and the star's energy output became steady and predictable. Gasps of astonishment echoed through the council chambers. For decades, the galaxy's greatest minds had studied stellar behavior, but none had achieved such precise control. This technology can save worlds, Tessa explained to the assembly. It can prevent catastrophic solar storms, ensuring the safety of entire star systems. Ambassador Jalcor, once a vocal critic, found himself speechless. The arrogance that had defined his earlier dismissals was replaced by cautious respect. The demonstration sparked immediate discussions about the implications. Could this technology be weaponized? Could it upset the delicate balance of power? Humanity had anticipated these concerns. Avery and the coalition leaders emphasized that the stellar reshaper was designed for peaceful applications only, governed by strict protocols and shared oversight. The moment was a turning point. Delegates who had long doubted Earth's place in the galaxy began to advocate for cooperation rather than confrontation. Proposals for joint scientific initiatives and disaster prevention programs gained traction. Yet, not all welcomed this change. The guardians of the old order intensified their opposition, seeing the stellar reshaper as a threat to their dominance. They pushed for restrictions, embargoes, and even sabotage attempts. But the coalition stood firm. Earth's example inspired other species to share their own innovations and knowledge, creating a new era of collaborative progress. Commander Avery reflected on the journey. We showed them that power without purpose is empty. Our strength lies in our commitment to protect and uplift, not to dominate. As the galaxy adjusted to this new reality, silence swept the council chambers not from fear or defeat, but from awe and contemplation. The mockery of Earth's might had ended. In its place was a profound recognition. Humanity was no longer a primitive world to be dismissed. It was a beacon one that challenged the galaxy to rethink what true power meant. And as the stars shone, steady and bright, the future seemed filled with possibilities. The unveiling of the stellar reshaper had shifted the balance of power in the galaxy, but true change was only beginning. The old empires could no longer dismiss Earth, nor could they ignore the growing coalition of diverse species united by a vision of peace and cooperation. Emperor Thaurak of the Archon Empire found himself at a crossroads. His pride and the expectations of his war council urged confrontation. Yet his advisors cautioned that a direct attack on Earth or its allies could provoke a catastrophic war in secret. He ordered a series of covert operations to test humanity's limits: espionage missions, sabotage attempts, and subtle manipulations within coalition ranks. But each move was met with swift counteraction from Earth's intelligence and coalition security forces. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts intensified. Ambassador Lyra spearheaded peace talks that aimed to bring former rivals into the coalition, offering incentives and guarantees of sovereignty. These talks were not easy. Centuries of distrust and conflict could not be erased overnight. Yet, the sincerity and strength demonstrated by humanity, the tangible benefits of coalition membership, began to break down barriers. In one such negotiation, representatives from the Tsar Dominion, once fierce opponents, agreed to a preliminary treaty after witnessing the coalition's ability to prevent a devastating pirate attack on a vulnerable system. The tide was turning on the battlefield. Human and coalition forces continued to refine their tactics, blending diverse skills and technologies into seamless operations. The drone swarms, agile fighters, and advanced electronic warfare systems combined to form a defensive network that was difficult to penetrate. Commander Ferry led a critical mission to defend the Sol System's outer colonies from a surprise raid by a pirate alliance hoping to exploit lingering instability. The battle was fierce. Pirate ships swarmed in waves, but human and coalition pilots fought with determination and coordination. Using knowledge shared among species, they adapted quickly to pirate tactics, turning the tide with a daring flanking maneuver that disrupted the attacker's command structure. The victory was more than military. It was symbolic. It demonstrated that the coalition could defend its members effectively and deter threats without resorting to overwhelming force. Back on Earth, celebrations were tempered with focus. Avery addressed the fleet. "We win not because of superior firepower alone, but because we fight for something greater: unity, protection, and hope." However, not all factions accepted the changing galaxy. The Guardians of the Old Order intensified their rhetoric, rallying supporters with fears of humanity's growing influence. They spread propaganda warning that Earth's ideals were naive, that their rapid expansion threatened traditions and balance. In response, Tessa launched a series of public forums and cultural exchanges designed to counter misinformation. She believed education and transparency were the best defenses against fear. "We must show the galaxy that humanity's power is a force for good," she said. That silence after conflict can mean peace, not submission. Within the coalition, challenges remained. Differing priorities and perspectives sometimes sparked tension. But the commitment to dialogue and shared goals prevailed as old rivalries softened, new alliances formed. Former enemies found common ground in trade, research, and mutual defense. The galaxy, once fractured by suspicion and conflict, was gradually weaving itself into a more interconnected and cooperative community. In the quiet moments between battles and negotiations, Avery and Tessa often reflected on how far humanity had come. "We were underestimated at every turn," Avery mused one evening, watching Earth's blue glow from orbit. "But our resolve never wavered." Tessa smiled. "And now, silence is not the absence of sound, it's the peace we've fought to create." The galaxy was listening. The mockery had ended, replaced by a cautious respect that promised a future where Earth and its allies would stand as guardians of a new era. The galaxy held its breath. After years of rising tension, its conflict, and cautious diplomacy, a fragile peace had settled like a veil across the stars. The coalition led by Earth stood stronger than ever, united by ideals that transcended species, culture, and history. Yet beneath the surface, old powers still nursed grudges and plotted in shadows. The Guardians of the Old Order, defeated in open influence but undeterred, launched one final Gambitan alliance of rogue factions intent on destabilizing the coalition from within. This time, the threat was unlike any before. Coordinated attacks struck simultaneously across multiple systems, communications sabotaged, supply chains cut, colonies isolated. The galaxy teetered on the edge of chaos. Commander Avery called an emergency meeting. Around the holly table, coalition leaders spoke urgently, each bearing news from their sectors. "We face a test unlike any previous," Avery began, "but we will not falter. Our strength is our unity." Tessa coordinated intelligence efforts, unearthing the Rogue Alliance's command center deep within the Nebula Rift. A treacherous region once thought impossible to navigate, a daring coalition strike force was assembled, blending human pilots and specialists from allied species. Their mission, to infiltrate and dismantle the Rogue Command before their plans could unfold further. The operation was perilous. Navigating the Nebula Rift challenged even the most experienced navigators. Electronic interference scrambled communications, and hostile patrols sought to intercept the Coalition fleet. But the Coalition's diverse expertise turned the tide. Harken scouts led stealthy approaches. Atari engineers adapted ships for the harsh environment, and human commanders coordinated complex maneuvers with precision. In the heart of the nebula, the strike force engaged the rogue fleet. The battle was fierce and chaotic, with flashes of energy lighting the dark void. Yet through coordinated tactics and unwavering resolve, the coalition overwhelmed the rogues. The command center was destroyed, and remaining forces surrendered or fled. Victory was hard-won, but decisive. Back at the Galactic Council, the aftermath brought renewed calls for cooperation and vigilance. Ambassador Lyra spoke passionately. This conflict showed the cost of division and the power of unity. "Let us build a future where such darkness can never rise again." Earth's leaders echoed the sentiment. Avery and Tessa emphasized that the coalition's strength lay not in dominance, but in shared purpose and respect. The galaxy, once fractured by fear and rivalry, is beginning to heal. Humanity's journey from mocked outcast to respected guardian was a beacon to all. It proved that strength born of resolve, tempered by compassion and unity, could reshape even the oldest orders in the quiet that followed. Silence swept across the stars not as a void, but as a peace earned through struggle. On Earth, under the glow of a calm sun, people looked up at the night sky with hope. They had faced the galaxy's greatest challenges and emerged stronger. And as new dawns rose across countless worlds, humanity's light promised a future where all species could thrive in harmony. The mockery was over. The silence was theirs, and a new era had begun.